We got one bid, no hearing today. The hearing got postponed, and then we'll jump into the agenda, okay? Thank you.
Letting number 8656, Penrose Park Velodrome. We have two bids. Rainier Construction, LLC, RAINERI Construction, LLC, $655,191. 655191.00. VJ Cement Contracting Company, Inc. VEEJAY Cement Contracting Company, Inc. $668,179. 668,179.00. With the low bidder, please meet with Ms. Bryant in the hallway. Thank you.
Miss Babia Bryant. Begins with a B.
Yes.
We have Kurt on the phone, too.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Hey, how are you? You got that on?
Yes, it's on.
Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Here.
Director Wilson.
Here.
Director Hayes.
Here.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore is excused. Director Edwards.
Here.
And President Bradley.
Here we have a quorum. I'll call a meeting in order.
From the President, Addendum number 1 for letting number 8657, improvements at Francis Park, project number R 2017-87-128, St. Louis, Missouri. Supplemental agreement number 3 to PSA number 1181, civil, structural, surveying, and geotechnical design services, Lambert St. Louis International Airport. Supplemental agreement number 1 to PSA number 1196, test and inspection of materials for Forest Park Parkway Bridge replacement, recommends approval. St. Louis Convention and Visitors Commission, CVC, to temporarily allow smoking in the America Center for the International Premium Cigar and Pipe Retailers Annual Convention and International Trade Show, IPCPR Convention, recommends approval. Recommendation that the following emergencies be approved subject to certain conditions as follows: to repaint on Fallon Park Boathouse, St. Louis, Missouri. Improvements to St. Marcus Park, 6600 Gravois, St. Louis, Missouri. From the President, Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following permit be approved subject to certain conditions as follows: Forest Park Forever, Inc., to install underground conduit for security cameras and license plate readers within Forest Park and City Block 4584 at 1011 Childress. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the Board declares as an emergency to make all necessary repairs to rebuild and install engine of truck number 513415 be approved subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following permits for Union Electric doing business as Ameren, Missouri be approved subject to certain conditions as follows: to excavate, for excavation, the trench length is 45 feet, 2 feet wide, and 4 feet deep. The location point is 20 on the attached drawing at 2nd Street and South Traddle. And to install new conduit from manhole to new transformer for new customer at 4427 Shoto between Taylor and Newstead, recommends approval. Recommendation that the following permits for MCI Metro access be approved, subject to certain conditions as follows: 2-inch HDPE pipe to be placed for fiber cable starting at handhole in front of 5900 Arsenal, placed on prior permit. Bore east 627 feet along the south side of Arsenal, turn north, and bore 146 feet along the east side of Dalton and place handhole in front of 2910 Dalton, etc. And MCI Metro access for 2-inch HDPE pipe to be placed for fiber cable starting at 1000 Macklin. Place fiber in existing conduit heading south for 548. At this point, one leg continues east in existing conduit for 1,500, ending at 5050 Oakland. The other continues south, placing new conduit for 1,200 at this point, and place new handhole at 5231 Manchester. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Utilities and Public Safety, joint recommendation that permit for 20th and Cass LLC for a boundary adjustment at 2300 Cass in City Block 6484 and 6485. Recommends approval subject to certain conditions. Now we have the conditional uses. Their bed and breakfast. You can, you know what, you can touch on it and let them know that you did get to it.
Good afternoon, members of the board, Mr. President. My name is Terrell Island, zoning plan examiner, representing the building commissioner. And per board order 766, transmitted here with the recommendations for the following conditional use applications. Approval with conditions is recommended for 5 applications, and they are 5303 Claxton, 2500 South Jefferson, 1015 North Grand Boulevard, 3736 West Florissant, and 2606 through 8 North 14th Street. Also, I would like to recommend approval with the conditions for 1 bed and breakfast application, and that is 1420 through 26 North Broadway. I request that these recommendations be approved as submitted. Are there any questions or comments about these?
It still needs to be.
It needs to be inspected. I don't have anything from him.
Okay, and which one is that?
That was the one that he just mentioned. It's not on there. I took
Okay.
put it out, but it was for the bed and breakfast.
Okay. So just a commentary that all the ones that are listed, the first 5, other than the last one that you mentioned, the secretary has all the documentation to issue the conditional uses. What I would recommend on the last one is that we do a conditional approval, and that way when the secretary receives all the proper documentation and confirms it, she can go ahead and issue the conditional use, if that would be acceptable.
Sure.
Any questions from the board?
No.
Seeing none, I'd like a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval. Conditional uses, can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie. Aye. Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore is excused. Director Edwards.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye, conditional uses are approved. Turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, January 30th, 2018. Are there any questions or comments on the minutes as presented?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded for approval. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore is excused. Director Edwards.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye, the minutes are approved. Today's agenda, questions or comments on the agenda?
Mr. President, I do have a question, perhaps a clarification with respect to, I suspect it's an addendum, a letter from John Coder, the Alderman of the 7th Ward, with respect to the use of the American Center and asking for an exception. In the second to the last paragraph, I have some concern that I don't know what it means. It reads, additionally, CVC management will make arrangements to give days off without penalty. I'm not sure what that means. And is it without pay or they don't get fired? Do you have any understanding of what this is about?
I do, and that is a reasonable question. First of all, it is not an addendum. It is actually on the agenda, and it is under the president's, the second item up. And I have spoken with Ms. Ratcliffe, and the understanding that I have is that the employees, if they had an issue with this permit being granted, they would allow them to have the day off, and I understand it is with pay. They would work some arrangement out with them.
Thank you for that clarification.
Any further questions or comments on the agenda? Seeing none, I'll take a motion, please.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Moving second for approval. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie. Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes.
Aye.
Director Augustin is excused. Director Moore is excused. Director Edwards.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye, the agenda is approved. Motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.